Going to take a look at this odd flashlight that's sold in Lowe's hardware stores. It's their Kobalt brand, which is Lowe's house brand of items, drills, that sort of thing. But they also have their own line of flashlights. Someone produces them for them. But it's a multi-use type flashlight. It has 3 LEDs on it, and then it has a side flood LED. They call it their 1000 lumen 5 mode flashlight, but it also has a 2000 lumen turbo with it. But the odd thing about it is the battery is used. It uses a proprietary battery that they call an 18650, but it's a little bit larger than that. The light actually works pretty good with it. You just go through the 5 modes of it. Starts off on high, medium, low, and then the side light back to off again. There's no saved start with it, so it always starts on high and works down. But when you start it in high, if you hold it 2 seconds, it goes up to turbo. But the turbo ramps down really quickly. You maybe get 30 seconds, but it's more like 20 or so before it will ramp down with it. Goes back to the next lower section. On here, it's hard to tell, but it has a little light on it. So when you first turn it on, it'll tell you, it'll be green for 100%. This is, and if it turns orange, it's down to 70% battery life, and then red solid is 40% battery life, and if it's flashing red, it's down at 10%, so need to charge it by then. It's actually all aluminum body with it. Feels pretty good in the hand, but it's chunky. Compare this to one of the Sofrin lights, this IF24 Pro. You can see the size difference. It's pretty significant, and it's definitely weightier. It's not quite double, but probably 3/4 more in weight. I wouldn't really consider this an everyday carry type flashlight, but it's pocketable, works really well for what it is. They used to sell for, I think, 40 when they first came out, and they dropped to 29, and now you can find them in Lowe stores for around $19, $20, something like that. The odd thing about them is their proprietary battery. On the back, you've got a little cap that flips up. And with this cap, you can just plug it in to charge it, and it shows a green light when flashing when you're charging it. And then once it's charged, it'll show a solid green light. If you plug it into the out section, it'll show a blue light. And it will charge a phone. So let me hook it up here. You have to put a cable on the out section, and then you'll get a little light with it. And plug it in here. You can see it shows it comes on, starts charging. It charges at about 10 watts or so. So it's not a fast charger, but you can use this as a power bank with it. You can take the battery out with it also. So close that rubber seal on it. Just unscrew this cap here, pull the battery out. And it shows these things as a 2500 milliamp hour. I haven't tested it yet. I'm going to see how long this thing will actually run, get a true rating. But they call it 18650C, and that C must stand for chunky because it is a huge battery. This is a this is a standard 18650 size, 18 millimeter by 650, 65 millimeter length with it. There's no way that this is that sizing. I measured it with calipers, and I get 24 width by 84 length on it. So I don't know how they can label this as an 18650. It's a little deceiving because on the packaging it'll say it's an 18650 battery. So if somebody buys this flashlight thinking that they're gonna be able to throw some of their batteries in there, it's not going to work. It's a straight up proprietary battery. So on the end of it here, you've got an input and an output with it, which works really well. But instead of having contact on each end, it's a double on one end with it. So when you look down into the flashlight, down in the bottom of it here, it's two different rings on it. So the inner ring hits the center and the outer ring will hit the other, and you get your current flowing through that way instead of one on each end, which is sort of an odd setup. But if you look at the size, these batteries sometimes look large beside the 18650, but the 21700 battery is nowhere close to the size of this on it. They also sell some other flashlights that use a rechargeable battery, and it's labeled as a 21700C battery, and it's, I think, 3000 milliamp hour on it, maybe 3500 milliamp hour with it, and it comes in some of their larger flashlights. But the body of this battery is exactly the same size. It just has a little bit larger cell inside of this casing, I believe, with it. And two different, they call it two different size cells, but the exact same cell, just basically with more milliamp hour runtime to it on it. So it's real deceiving on it. And they were supposed to sell these batteries separately, but I haven't ever seen them listed. It'll show that you can update this flashlight from the 18650 to the 21700 battery, but they never have gotten around to selling these cells separately. You can buy the larger single bulb flashlight, not the one with the side on it, but a standard flashlight that has that larger cell in it, and and use that battery in this flashlight, the bigger one. But like I said, they were supposed to sell them separately so you could buy a replacement, but they haven't ever released them. So it looks like they're going to discontinue these flashlights with these type of cells. They may have had, a lot of people disappointed not being able to get a replacement battery. But once this cell dies, it does come with this adapter on it, and it has the same sort of double contact end on it, but it uses 3 AAA batteries. So you can get 3 AAA rechargeable batteries and use in this thing. If I can see it here. It just mounts in like that. Put your cap on. There's no recharging with that. You have to pull each cell out and recharge it with it. But at least you have the option down the road to use this. And it runs a little, not nearly as strength. It's probably half the power at the very most on it on turbo that you get with this versus the regular battery that comes with it. It also comes with USB-C cord that has an adapter on it, so you can use it USB-A to C, or this pops off and it's a C to C cord, and this will charge this battery C to C cable, whereas some have to use an A to C cable, but this will work A to C or C to C to charge these batteries. So you can just carry this battery with you if you wish, and use it to recharge your phone, but you want to keep this end protected. You could short it out, these contacts on there, so it's best just safely to carry it inside of the flashlight itself, and you don't have to worry about shorting it out. It works really well on the flood. It's surprising. The flood light on it is as bright as the Sofern is with it. That's where it's at its best, but it's more of a floody beam as opposed to the Sofern. The IF24 and 23s are more of a little more of a spot beam with it, whereas these 3 LEDs throws a little wider pattern with it. You can see this has a little more of a center beam to it and a little wider. But if I hold that for 2 seconds, it goes to turbo. That's turbo on this one. You know, the beam pattern's wide with this, and it is pretty bright. It's actually, whatever the emitters they use in it, it says it's a Cree emitter, but it doesn't tell what emitter it is. So I can get close enough, you can sort of see how it is. But it works really well. A little tactical end piece on here, but no tips to where it busts glass or anything, but it gives a little added protection. Probably going to break this down sometime and open it up and try to get a look at what's in here and how it works. I also plan on taking that cell apart and see actually what's in it, so I'll do that in the future. But as of right now, you can find these at Lowe's. I think they ship them also, but they're about $20 for the flashlight right now, and it's a decent little flashlight. The one disadvantage, there's no magnetic tail cap, so you know, having this rubber piece on here to be able to reach it and charge it, that sort of cuts out the ability to have a magnetic tail cap on it. So it does come with a clip that you can unscrew this, but it's not easy. You have to take it apart here to get it out. It doesn't just pull off. Oh no, this is the other one. This one does pull off. The other one I had earlier, it was screwed into it. This one actually, you can remove this clip on it. So I just got this, going to play with it a little bit more, and like I said, I'll try to dig into that battery a little bit later and make a video on that. So just thrilled y'all at all, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.